created a steering file in the previous class. You have a config file with your role, your city. You have a storage module. That's the only work of that storage module is to interact with the database. And an orchestrator that reads the state, decides what to do, and delegates to agent from a registry. And think about it, and you have a mock fetcher. If you remember in the previous class, we created a mock fetcher that involves that is like a hard-coded list of 12 fake job listings, 4 of which are repeated on purpose, so that when you run the cycle twice, the second run will say that there are 4 new instead of 12. The number that was the proof of that the whole memory layer works. Now, if that is not working, like if that piece of is not working, please pause the video now and fix it. So in the previous class, I shared this prompts.md file in which it has all the fixes also if you get some issues. So please try to follow that and make it working. Then only please continue with this class. Everything today assumes that your code is working of the previous class. If it doesn't, please, like today's class will not make any sense. So please debug the previous class. The previous class has a prompts file which has all the debugging steps as well. So please follow that and make it work. Now, if I'm assuming that you are still here, that means the code is working. Today we will delete that fake data instead of hard coding the job listings, because hard coding does not make sense, right? By the end of this session, that mock is gone. We will be removing that mock, and your agent will be pulling genuine live jobs off the internet. So there will be no API key required for the first part of this video, so nobody gets stuck at the sign up page and everything. But that is the easy half, and I want to be honest about it upfront that calling an API is not the skill. Any tutorial can call the API, right? The skill is what your system does when the API is down, or rate limits you, or silently change the response shape. How your system performs in that case, that is the main important thing, right? So last week, nothing in your project could fail. There was no network call, no API call. Everything can work because there was a static data. That's what we are actually building today. This is not a scraper now, a scraper that survives. Like whatever happens with those APIs, if those gets down, will our system be working perfectly fine or not? So that is what we will be looking today. I hope you are ready for this. So here's the main shift that is happening in our project. Up to now, every line of code that you had in your project was deterministic. What I mean by that is the same input, the same output, every time it will be the same, right? Input was same, so output will be same. There was no ambiguity in your code. The mock fetcher returns 12 listings because you told it to return 12 listings. It was not returning any random data. You hard-coded that data and that was being returned to you. From today, your code depends on a machine you don't own. What I mean by that? You will be making an API call to a server which is not owned by you, which owes you absolutely nothing. Now everything, a lot of possibilities are there which can happen here. So we need to handle those possibilities. They can change their response format without telling you, right? It is their API, they can change it. They can rate limit you if you are bombarding them because since it is a free API, if you are bombarding them with a lot of API calls, they will rate limit you. They will not allow you to make calls. They can be down for maintenance because it is their server, right? Whatever can happen. Now, the important thing is that our server need to handle whatever happens because of their server. It should not be like our system is completely gone down. Think about this. There are multiple things here. Please focus on all the points. That the first point is the timeout that never times out. What I mean by that? You call an API, the connection hangs. Let's say they are not responding. That's the API that you will be calling for getting all the jobs from the internet, and your code is waiting. Think about it. Your server is stuck in a forever state. On your laptop, you notice and hit Control C, right? But on a scheduled runner at 6 a.m., because this project that we are building, it will be running at 6 a.m. at a specific interval of time. The job will hang until the platform kills it, right? The job should not be hang, and the platform will bill you for that your server was running, and actually it was not running because it got hung in a single state. This is one important thing that we need to handle, the timeout thing. Second is the shape change. What if the API started returning a new response? Let's say it was returning company underscore length till now. Now it returns company only. Your code should not be crashing, right? It should write none in every row. It should handle that, right? It should not start crashing on that. The third thing is the cascade. You add a second job code, let's assume that, and let's say it goes down. Your entire cycle dies, including the, if you think about it, including the first source also, which was working perfectly till now. Basically, you were fetching from one source till now. Now you are fetching from the second source, and if the second source goes down, will you affect all the other sources? That we do not want, right? Let's say till now I was listing my jobs from LinkedIn, but tomorrow I added a new website also. From that, I will also be listing. But if that has issues, do I want my all listings to go down? No, ideally I don't want. So I need to handle that. The thing is, the next is the leaked way. The leaked key is, if you remember in the last week, what we will be doing is we will be pushing this code to GitHub, and we will be adding our API tokens also. We do not want these keys to be leaked, so we will be having in them in the environment variable. These are the main four failure points, I will say, that a lot of projects has. I want to be clear that we want to tackle them, and we will be having these in mind, that we need to solve for all these 4 points, right? Okay, now if you think about it, let's think about it, that what we are building today. Today, if you remember, in the previous class, we had a hard-coded list of job IDs. The main purpose today is to remove those hard-coded lists and introduce actual real jobs from the internet. Okay. So now if you see, for now, what we want to start with is first, again. So now if you see, for now, what we want to start with is first, again, update our steering file. Because as I explained you about these 4 rules, right? If you see, these are the 4 rules that I want to let Kiro know about it. That please keep the timeouts, please never push the tokens, please keep the sources differently. There will be a source class for every source. Think about it. If you're fetching from LinkedIn, then there will be a LinkedIn source. If you're fetching for, let's say, InstaHire, there are other companies, right? So what we will do is, let's go to Kiro. Hi everyone, I will just take your 30 seconds to introduce to you something very new that Masai has recently launched. It's a new app that is called Loop by Masai. It's available on Play Store and App Store. Let me just explain that why this is very interesting idea. If you see that many of the time a lot of people scroll reels, right? Because reels are addictive because they are short and they give you some kind of information. But those are generally not related to your career, what you want to learn. Loop by Masai exactly does the same. It has the Instagram concept of small reels, but for a tech content. Let's say you are learning AI. It's mostly focused on AI, but it'll be or it will be having videos related to other projects as well. So you will be having short videos where, let's say, they will take a specific concept and explain you in a very short 30-second, 40-second video, so that you remember it for the whole lifetime. It's a very addictive learning. It's a very new concept. And let me show you the interface as well. I have installed this Loop by Masai. So this is how it looks like. You can do get started. Just give your number here and you can just sign in. So I will be entering my number and I will be starting with that. So all these courses, all these videos that are going on this monthly cohort will be also available on that. So it's a one-stop platform where you can watch all the videos related to monthly cohort, weekly cohorts, and these reels videos. After every reel, you will have a quiz as well. So it's a very, very good learning platform that you have quiz as well. You have learning videos every day, and it's a very short video, so you do not have to even spend, like, you have to sit there. You are just walking by, you are just traveling. You can just look at it, right? It's a very good platform, very good initiative. So I would heavily recommend everyone to install this app and start using it. Okay, now let's back to the course. This is our project from the previous class, and I have a prompt for that. These are the prompts that I am sending. Now what it is, I am saying please update the steering file. Now what we want to say is, please add the sources section. What is sources is that every source should live into their sources, complete sources folder. So you will have one sources for LinkedIn, one sources for InstaHire, and every source will have different parsing. Think about it. LinkedIn can return responses in a different format. The other website, let's say there are Naukri.com. Naukri.com returns different response in the different format. So everyone needs to parse this response. So parser will also live into their module. Now, if you see a very important point, every source returns a list of normalized dictionaries with exactly these 3 things: source, external ID, title, company, URL, all these job postings. And the other thing that I'm saying is, let me explain that this is the part that you're thinking about, right? Timeout. Request 1 request per second. Why did we add this? This we are adding. The reason is throttling. as I told about the rate limiting part, right? Everyone will be rate limiting us, can rate limit us. We need to handle it. So we are expecting Kiro that please add these changes of HTTP, which I explained about the rate limit, the multiple sources. No source. If one source go down, I do not want to go down from the other sources. I'm letting know about Kiro about this, so it can add into the steering file. Now it says started adding the steering file. Meanwhile, I would like to explore. I would like to show you one platform which provides a free API. If you see, this is a job board API from arbitnow.com. This is a free API. If you hit this free API, you get a list of job opening. So if you see, I was just hitting this API. Let me explain. So this is a free job search API. If you click on this, so this is the API URL, and it has loaded a lot of jobs. If you see, this is a complete jobs JSON. This is what we need to parse. We will be parsing this. We will integrate this. It will return a lot of jobs to us. We can parse this and use that. So this is a free API that we will be using. There's another API which requires sign up. This API does not even require sign up, does not even require API tokens and all. So we are very good to use this API that nothing is required for setup. So once Kiro does the steering file update, now if it is updated, see, steering file has been updated with all the rules. Line number 10, 11, every source should be in a different format. Every source should do the complete parsing. Every kind of information has been added into this. Now, these are the 6 rules that I will never type again. That's why I added it in the steering file. That Kiro will always remember while making the changes that I need to make sure that this happens. So this is why steering file comes in the use. Now if you see, this is the real data that we have. Now we need to pass this data. Don't need API key, we don't need sign up. We need to pass this API key. It has a lot of detail. If I show you company name, there is a company name in this. If you see company name, there's a company name. It has posted a job called security engineer. This is the description that they want. Every kind of information is present in this. So what we will do is we will say to Kiro that please. So what we will say that there is a source that I want to this, and I want to make call. So we will create a new source for Arbit now only. Arbit now will be the source, and we need to parse that detail. So now if you think about it, we will have different files for different sources, because everyone returns responses in a different format. So what I will be doing is, again, go to Kiro. Let's move to Kiro. And if you see, what I'm trying to say to Kiro is, I need to build 2 source layers. First of all, I would like to take your focus on, if I first let me fire this so that it can start making changes, and then we can go through the prompt. Do not read the complete prompt. Let me focus that what is the main important part. First, we are saying to Kiro is, if you see the registry prompt, what we are saying is, first we are saying, please, same pattern as the agent registry from Tuesday, like in the previous class, one level down, a new source one is a decorated class. Why it's like that? That any new source comes in, it's very easy to add it. It's very easy to extend it. Right? You can just create a new job source. So what we will be doing is we will be creating a new file arbitnow.com. Right? The source will be arbitnow.com. Tomorrow you can have another source. You can create different class for it. So that works. The other part of the prompt is the JSON response. If you see, if I go to the browser, so this has a proper JSON response, right? Company name is there, title is there, everything is there. So we are telling Kiro about it, that what kind of response that we are expecting, and you need to pass on it. So this is the main important part. If you see the complete, that we need response from URL, param, everything we are mentioning about in the complete JSON response, that what we are expecting. Once that is done, now think about it. Now, if you see, like right now it is creating the class, it's very extendable code. The reason is, since we are expecting each source to be different, right? No, it's not like that every source will give the same response. Each source can give different response. We are creating the code base in a way that every source can be integrated, but at the end they need to parse the details. See, think about it. The source response can be different, but the meaning is same. LinkedIn can say company. Arbit now can say company underscore name. The other company can say some company hyphen company, instead of underscore they can use company hyphen name. But at the end you need a company, so that's what the parser will do. It will take all these words, create a common company and pass it to our framework, so that we can store it in the database. In the database we will not be storing everything. I think we got rate limited. Let me just say continue. Since we are using the free version, so this happens a lot. So I just told it to continue the work. Now, once this is done, I will show you also, once this integration is done, Arbit now, okay, this is experiencing high volume. Again, let's try one more time. Let's see what happens. Yeah, now it has started working. So it is creating this file. If you see, this is a very important file, arbitnow.py, which will have all the source code related to arbitnow. It will parse all the detail and it will return in a common format. Once it is done, I will explain. I will make an API call also to arbitnow using this module, and I will show you that what it is returning. That is a very important part. Let it complete. So it has created this arbitnow.py, and what it does, let me show you. So see, if you see this normalize function, what is this normalize function doing? See, think about it. Very important step. Whatever they return in company underscore name, but we keep it as company because our see, think about it. Our project has to be working with all the sources. LinkedIn also, Arbitnow also, InstaHire also. So we create a common response like company, but every module, every response, every source will have a response like company underscore name, company hyphen name, everything that will have, we will create a common response like this: source, external ID, title, company, like this. Make sense? Once this is running, once this is done, I will show you by making an API call also. Let it complete. And actually we can see till then it is running here. You see that just now Kiro itself ran this API key using this Arbit module. We got a response, and if you see 2 security engineer Germany, 3 full stack job engineer in Clara, Berlin, you see all the jobs are loading. So this is completely working fine. Now right now we have this complete support which can load job APIs from Arbitnow. That is working. So complete. Right now we have the setup to fetch it, but right now we are not using it. If you think about it, now we will swap the hard-coded list. Instead of fetching it from the hard-coded list, the real fetcher will fetch it using the sources. So what I will be having is, I will tell the Kiro that please replace the mock fetcher with the real one. If you see, we are saying now replace the mock fetcher with the real one and instead call the sources file. Let me put it here. What does it mean is, now we are saying please remove the hard-coded fetcher and use the real fetcher, which can call all the sources one by one. So if you think about it, there are main 4 important parts in this. First is enable all the sources. Now since we have the code, I think we got again rate limited. Let's do continue. Okay. So first we will saying that please start using the real fetcher, which can use the real sources, and it will try to call all the sources. Right now we have only one source, which is Arbitnow, but we can add multiple sources like this. Again, I think it is having some load. Let's try again. Since we are using this free version, it is not allowing to call us multiple times. Let us see if this works. But no, it is not. I think we will wait for some time and then we will start. Let me come back after 2 minutes. Okay, so Kiro has been back and Kiro has made the changes. And if I see now that if we are using the actual fetcher or not, so it should not fetch from the hard-coded site, hard-coded list. Let's run this Python run cycle.py. If you see fetcher is running, which is the active agent, scorer and gap analyzer, we have not built it yet. It is in the execution phase. It fetches the API. Let's see. Okay, think about it. It's fetched 575 raw listings. If you think about it, location filter only 0 results. The reason is 0 results because if you see in the location what we have put, let me go to config.yaml, Bangalore. And these are mostly out of India jobs. If you see, these are mostly Berlin jobs, Germany jobs, right? So this is why there are no jobs which is filtering this surviving. And after the fetcher, total agents run has been this, total new rows is 0. There are no rows inserted in the database because there are no relevant jobs. If you see, what I can do is, instead of Bangalore, let me put it Berlin. Let's see if we have Berlin jobs. Let's run this again, the agent. Let's see. Hopefully we have Berlin jobs there, and I'm thinking whether data analyst jobs are there or not. Let's see. Okay, now no data analyst. At least we saw security engineer. So let me change this to security engineer. And for now, I think it will not match, but for now we can say security keyword here. This is not a very good keyword, but for now, just to see, let's see this. Let's see if we get the security engineer job. I'm not sure whether security engineer now it is present or not. If you see total new 7 rows are there because it found 7 rows which are actually relevant to mine. So that is the very interesting part. It is completely running now. I hope that makes sense. That 7 jobs are actually listed. 7 jobs are actually the ones which actually are relevant to our jobs. So I hope that makes sense. Right? Now, if you see the code which we have run is actually can survive failures also, because we have already told the timeout thing, the whole rate limiting thing. So everything it runs right now, it will work. Now, what one important part that I will like to do is that in the starting itself, we can create a .git ignore file in which, in case, so right now we are using, let me explain. Right now, we are using an API which does not require API keys, right? But in the next classes, I will tell. So right now, in the today's class, I showed you this one source file, right? Which is this one, Arbit now. But in the next class, I will be integrating one more job code which requires API key, and that API key we will be putting into the .env file, and we will be putting .env file into .git ignore. So that in cases you push this file to GitHub, it will not be posted. So right now, if you see, our complete class agenda is working right now, that instead of fetching hard-coded jobs, we are able to fetch hard-coded list of jobs, the actual new jobs that are in the market using this website, which is Arbit now, which has been integrated as a source. If you see into go to this sources, you have Arbit now. Similarly, you will have another source tomorrow that in the next class I will be integrating with the API key that takes an API key, and that job and that source also will have a normalize function that will normalize whatever that source gives the response. We will normalize them into this format: source, external ID, title, company, location, so that we can store it into our database. So I hope that makes sense and everyone enjoyed the class. This is what we wanted to cover for today's class. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we will meet in the next one. Till then, bye bye.
Everyone keeps saying learn AI. But when exactly? After work? After college? After watching 10 more random videos? That's why there's Loop by Masai. Loop gives you one focused 15-minute sprint every day. A short video, a bite-sized read, and a quick quiz to check what actually stuck. And with Masai Live, you can join live sessions, interact, or catch the replay when you miss it. No random scrolling, no I'll start tomorrow. Just one small step every day to stay AI ready. Download Loop by Masai today.
पापा इसे कह रहे थे 500 का है यही मैं 250 260 का लाया हूँ कहाँ है बैठा है अभी
बैठा है बोल रहा है और विशाल भाई क्या हाल है मुझे ध्यान से देख कर लग रहा मुझे खा जाएगा कहाँ तक कुछ और ना सादा
स्विच ऑफ कर देगा